Today, we are going to discuss the double meaning behind the symbol of the upside-down cross, one of which is portrayed in Michelangelo Medici de Caravaggio's piece from 1601 called The Crucifixion of St. Peter. This powerful religious piece comes from the Baroque era of art history, where artists commissioned for churches, including Caravaggio, were pushing the boundaries set by work of the High Renaissance. Now, when one hears about the High Renaissance, works of Michelangelo commonly come to mind, with his graceful and elegant depictions of Christian events displayed at the Sistine Chapel in Rome, for example. In this piece, however, the word graceful doesn't quite fit with the nature of this composition. More accurate descriptive words would probably be unbalanced, realistic, and emotionally charged. So here we have the Apostle St. Peter in an action-packed moment during the time of his execution. Now, according to Christian tradition, St. Peter had asked to be crucified upside down because he felt he was not worthy to die in the same manner as Christ. Christ had been crucified right side up, which was as humiliating a death as could be. Caravaggio employed the style of chiaroscuro, where he played with the source of life coming from the left side of the picture. The light is shining most brightly on St. Peter, and St. Peter's face is clear as day, and his expressions are sorrowful and full of anxiety and just fear for his upcoming death. And there's three other people in this piece that are depicted, none of which have facial features that are really exposed for the viewer to see. The man on the top, who's pulling up the cross of St. Peter, his back is fully turned from the viewer, so we only see the strain in his arms, and we know his next action is going to be to pull up the cross. The one on the left side, the shadow that Caravaggio had painted onto his face barely allows the viewer to make out just a few facial features, but not enough for the viewer to know exactly who it is or what they might have looked like. And the man on the bottom, his face isn't even visible to the viewer, and his rear end is sticking out in a way that's very realistic, because if the purpose of this painting was to be graceful and elegant and a nice centerpiece for a fancy household, it probably wouldn't be the case that someone would paint someone's butt sticking out all the way, and his feet, just the heels are so dirty. It's very realistic and really shows that the true purpose of this piece was to invoke an emotional response, which was very common with these types of Baroque paintings during especially the time of the Protestant Reformation, where people were breaking away from the Catholic Church. So these emotionally charged paintings were used to try to get people who may have strayed away from the church to continue to believe or to come back to the church, and to ward off the people that were leaving the church during the Reformation. An interesting idea to point out would be the significance of this upside-down cross at the time of Caravaggio as opposed to today's world. Caravaggio had used the upside-down cross as a way to help bring believers who were negatively influenced by the Protestant Reformation back to the faith, with St. Peter's humility displayed in his own idea of unworthiness and status below Christ, whereas in today's culture, upside-down crosses are commonly recognized as symbols for anti-Christian groups in opposition to the faith, using the same exact symbol to drive people away from the Christian church rather than towards it.